Mastication Station, North America's oddest local talk show. Almost every Thursday night at 9 on Facebook Live. Guests, games, fun, and gluten-free. So put the kids to bed, grab a snifter of hot dog water, and join the festivities. Click like, share, revel in the fun, repeat. Almost every Thursday night at 9 on Facebook Live.
When I chose my song for Miss America, I thought it was really important to be able to spread my message. And I actually faced a lot of adversity on my journey to wanting to be Miss Indiana. A lot of people told me I couldn't because of how I looked or, kind of where I came from. And that's life is all about when people try to get you down, picking yourself back up and trying again. So I had to pick Frank Sinatra's That's Life, and here it is. That's life, that's what people say. You're riding high in April, but you're shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change their tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, funny as it may seem. Some people get their kicks stepping on my dream, but I just can't let them bring me down, no, 'cause this big old world keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a queen. I've been up and down and over and out, but I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, well, I pick myself up and I get back in the race. That's a lie. I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, but my heart, it just won't buy it. And if I thought it wasn't worth the try, oh, I'd just jump right up on that big bird and I'd fly.
What a beautiful day for Frank and Daly, the world's super sweet new cereal.
Phooey! Here's the world's super sweet new cereal called Chocula.
Berto, I've got berry-flavored sweeties for monstrous strawberry flavor.
Well, I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Frankenberry,
Called Chocula.
meow.
Frankenberry called Chocula.
Oh. All right, are we, we're rolling now? Is that it? Are you gonna talk? We're running one hour. Oh, we're on? Duh. This is my first show. So, hey, we're back and all that stuff I heard. I had to change the batteries in the pack and all that stuff. So, welcome back to Mastication Station. That was a great commercial. And we're enjoying our sponsor tonight, because it's just a different way of eating these things. So Lee's going to tell you about our sponsor, can't you?
Yeah, hi folks. Our sponsor for this week here in sunny state of Fort Wayne, Indiana, is Fanny Fran's Gently Used Pastries, by the ounce and not by the dozen. So if you're into pastries that have been gently massaged, licked, stepped on, or put in bags sideways, then come on down to Fanny Fran's Gently Used Pastries.
Oh, that's great. I like how that's, but you just say it's by the ounce?
By the ounce, not by the pound.
That's good.
Or the dozen.
Because it might be in different size pieces and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, how many in the audience tonight?
My numbers are showing 975, and we have a very special audience. We have the Benedictine and Franciscan monks that have been on a pilgrimage across our beautiful country. And they stopped in at Fort Wayne because they knew we had celebrities. The only problem is, Tony, is that they've all taken a vow of silence. So we'll be just pretty much clapping and that kind of stuff happening.
And so I guess the audience sounds will have to be fake, I guess, this time.
We'll have to put in fake sounds.
It's never happened before. With us is a very special person who's been visiting us tonight. Her name is Miss Indiana. Can I say your real name or not?
Oh, of course.
This is Lydia Tremaine. Everybody say hi to Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
Tremaine. Look at that smattering of applause.
Smattering, clicking,
Yeah.
popping.
And we were really happy to have you singing for us.
Yes.
So, how many times, I haven't asked you this before, how many times have you sang that song?
You know, I have lost count. So I sang it when I won Miss Fort Wayne, which was my local title. That local title then won me my ticket to Miss Indiana, and I sang That's Life there as well. Then at Miss America, and after winning talent at Miss America, nearly every appearance I've had since then has wanted me to sing it since it did so well at the national level. So I'd say at least 50, maybe up to 100 within this 10-month reign as Miss Indiana.
That many times?
Yeah, I mean, I've sang it probably 5 times just within the last week alone.
You probably sang it more times than Sinatra did.
Potentially.
So how much preparation did you have to put into all of this, all the competitions you've had to go through?
You know, it's really so much more than people realize. I've been working towards the goal of being Miss Indiana since I was a preteen. I did an outstanding teen competition. We have a program for 13 to 17-year-old women. So I competed in that program, and then I started trying to be Miss Indiana at the age of 18 as a senior in high school.
Oh, okay.
And I actually saw a lot of failure. So it was a lot of working on how I spoke and working on what would make me the best Miss Indiana, and truly showing people the relevancy of our program and the relevancy of my platform, which is all about keeping the arts alive. And in doing that, you really have to work a lot on your speaking skills and your interview skills and learning how you come off to people. So it's hours and hours of preparation, and then having that confidence and that consistency throughout the week as Miss Indiana as well.
So being on here is good practice for you.
Great. Well, I mean, I guess I'm never competing again, but it's certainly
Well, we're going to be competing
keeping me
later.
sharp. Yes.
So
Okay.
Good
Yeah,
practice
we
for
are.
you, Tony.
What's that?
It's good practice for you.
Well, I don't have a crown, though.
Oh, no.
So you have to have the crown everywhere when like you're doing an appearance. You have to have the crown, the sash, and all that stuff?
You know, it really depends. Most of the time it is a crown and sash that's asked for. Sometimes I'll just go to things as Lydia and use my time to, volunteer for aftercare programs, which, choreographing with a show choir, I don't need the crown and sash. It might damage them, so I don't take them there. And sometimes I'll just be asked for the sash or the crown. It just depends on the appearance.
So you have 2 more months of your reign, and then there's going to be a battle, right, for the crown.
36 women in Zionsville, Indiana, competing for the crown.
BattleBots.
So what has been one of the highlights
Yeah.
of your past 10 months, besides this, of course?
Right. Oh, of course.
Definitely a highlight.
Well, I don't know. Yes. Well, aside competing at Miss America, because I know we'll be talking about that, and Miss America is, of course, a highlight. That's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd say my work with my platform has been something that's been really close to my heart. Again, it's keeping arts funded in schools. That's a really important subject to be talked about. And my mom is an elementary music teacher, as you know, and I am someone whose life was 100% saved by the arts. I used to have severe depression and social anxiety, and it was getting involved in music programs in high school that helped me get out of that and helped me overcome all of those issues. And so I just advocate for that because our students deserve that well-rounded access to arts in their education, maybe because they're struggling like me. So it's been wonderful to be an advocate for that across the state.
Yeah, and that was my other question. You kind of took some of it, and that was, who were you before music really hit you, and who are you now? It's like, how has music changed you?
Yeah, I'll go back to that time in middle school where I just had severe lack of confidence, and that lack of confidence really pushed me in a direction where I wasn't comfortable talking to people, I wasn't comfortable socially, therefore I didn't make a lot of friends, I felt like an outcast, and that affected how I did as a student and as a community member. I just didn't feel connected, so I didn't feel motivated to go to school. And then once I got involved with music, first and foremost, it gave me an emotional intelligence because I was able to portray how I was feeling through music, and that is a beautiful and powerful thing. But then I was also surrounded by people like me who were accepting of me, and I found that reason to go to school and that reason to do well. And so it just completely transformed me.
So in the future, where you're at now, how are you going to incorporate music and what you're going to do in the future?
Yes. So Tremaine offers Miss Indiana a full ride to their college. So I will be taking full advantage of that and pursuing education in music. And so I would like to, be an educator that is an advocate for music. I will be an advocate for that for the rest of my life. And I also plan to be a performer on the side within community theater here in Fort Wayne.
So a vision, what would your vision be of community theater like downtown? How would you see that?
Yeah, I am very involved with Three Rivers Music Theater right now.
Okay.
I'm taking classes under Andy Plank and Brandon Porter, who have really given me amazing tools to transition from pageant life to performer life and give me tools to grow as a performer. And I'm excited to use the skills I've had in that class to then audition for the Fort Wayne Civic, Arena, and Three Rivers Music Theater. So we'll see kind of what happens. It depends if I get cast.
Cool. Yeah, cast as, I don't know,
you know,
Beauty and the Beast
role.
or
Beauty and the Beast. The Beast, right? I'm
of
just
course.
kidding.
With a crown.
Yeah, Belle is a dream role, but I think one of my dream roles is Jenna in Waitress, which the rights just came out to that. So Fort Wayne Theaters, I hope to see someone doing that soon.
Okay.
I'll take Chorus Girl number 5 though, but
Okay.
I would prefer Jenna.
I'll be mailman number 2.
I think we should be a tree.
I'll be tree number 3.
Tree number 3.
As long as I can be part of it.
Just keep moving around.
We have some pictures of your some of your competition in Atlantic City, right?
Yes, Atlantic
So
City,
what was
New
that
Jersey.
like?
Oh my goodness. So I think it's important to explain why I feel the way I do about going to Miss America. So again, it took me a long time to achieve this dream of being Miss Indiana. My first year as a Miss, it took me 6 local competitions, and I didn't make it to Miss Indiana my first year. I lost all 6 of them. Then I did another 6 in 2017, and I finally won one and went to Miss Indiana for the first time. I did not make the top 11 in 2017. It then took me 4 more locals to win Miss Fort Wayne, and I realized I was having all of this failure. I mean, that was 16 locals I lost. And when
What happened to you there in that picture?
I won talent at Miss America.
Look like you're in pain.
I was shook. And I was shook because after all of this failure, I would never have expected to go to Miss America and to do well. Because 10 months prior to Miss America, I lost a local. I was 4th runner-up at just some small local.
Really?
So then to go to Miss America 10 months later and have success and gain scholarship, and the biggest difference within that was my mindset. My mindset completely changed the game. But winning talent meant the world to me because music is such a big part of my life. But you can obviously tell I was very shook.
Yeah,
so.
I was shook when I saw the picture.
Like you're having an aneurysm.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, is she okay?
No. Yes. Oh,
There you
goodness.
are. There's where you were crowned.
Yes, and that was 3 months previous to Miss America. That's when I was crowned Miss Indiana. Still wild.
Yeah, and then the picture I think before that was when you had that award in your hand or something like that.
That was my
There you are.
preliminary. Yes, that's me and Miss Massachusetts who had won the onstage interview at Miss America, and then I won talent. So that was us in the press room where we did interviews with multiple news stations in Atlantic City, and we were both just, obviously you can tell both of us were very excited and ecstatic, and she's one of my best friends. So that was really exciting to have that moment with her.
Now you said something about all the different competitions they had, all the different.
Yes.
Yeah. What were all those?
So there's a preliminary competition you can do. So within your preliminary group, you're split up into 3 groups at Miss America. You can win either on-stage interview or talent. You know, it used to be swimsuit before when we had swimsuit, but thankfully that was cut out of our organization in order
And that's
to
why
make
it's
us.
2.0.
Yes,
Is that,
Miss
okay.
America 2.0 is all about being inclusive and judging us on who we are on the inside and what we would bring to the title into America as a title holder rather than just outer beauty, which has been a beautiful change and it's been wonderful. And so now it's on-stage interview and talent, which is 100% what it should be.
Yeah. So the onstage talent I'm thinking of is perhaps a challenge. And what do you think? Are you up for a challenge?
I love a challenge.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're going to be doing a little bit of cornhole. Ooh. Because we're in the Midwest.
We are.
Right now, currently. And you're a Midwest girl.
I am.
Kendallville,
Kendallville,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
People call it Kendall-Tucky, so we do play cornhole. Only I can call it that, though.
Because you have to be in-house to do that, right? So we're going to do a little cornhole here. So on Mastication Station, as you know, we have a little challenge. So we challenge everybody who's here, no matter who they are, even if they're royalty. We have to challenge them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little change here. We're going to go back here. So what we're going to do, you want me to go for, actually,
Have you
Lee has to.
have you told her the catch?
What's the catch? Oh boy, what's
Well, the catch is
What if I hit one of the cameras?
you can't actually be looking at the board. You have to have your back to the board.
Did I not
It's
say
an
that?
over-the-shoulder toss.
What are you
So
guys doing?
calculate the distance, divide it by the equilibrium of the sun, and then we'll each toss 3. Actually, Peter Daning, who was an earlier guest, holds the record.
Yes.
He actually got one on the board.
He actually got one on the board.
On the board.
Okay. Probably
okay.
not.
So wait a minute. Do you want royalty to go first?
Royalty should go first.
Okay.
Yes, ladies first.
Ladies
Okay,
first.
So you
over
can
there.
go. I'm just,
I like
just
that already.
kidding.
She's coming out.
Okay. Ooh, this is
Here we
going to be
go.
bad. Are we ready?
Let's get your crown.
Oh, that's good. That's a good point.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're so close.
We,
Okay, am I doing all of them at once, or
I
are we
gotta
going back
go.
and
One
forth?
by
I gotta
one.
go. I gotta
Okay.
go. Okay.
Let's do it.
Now you can
Right.
mock Tony.
Now you can make fun.
Oh, so
Oh,
close, so close.
I didn't get on.
That was weak.
I think
Okay.
we're close, though. We have 3 more tries, so maybe we can do this.
Okay, this is gonna be tough.
Okay.
Okay, that was much better.
Where-
You throw like a girl.
Did you go for the?
Wow, I
You
wonder
went for the
why.
X.
I did.
Right there.
X marks the
Okay,
spot.
X marks the spot. Okay.
A little
Okay.
deeper, a little bit harder.
This is some good blocking on stage, by the way. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
goodness gracious.
Should I not have looked?
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Shrink it.
Oh, see, we're like, our backs are
That's
getting
why,
really close
that's
to
why
each
the
other,
champion
though.
of this got it on
You're
the
trying to
board.
copy me. I see
should
what
do a
you're
push-up
doing.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh.
See, that
one's
was on
good.
target, though.
That
Okay,
was
it
right.
was, it
Just
was.
need a little bit more range.
So I just need to give it a
Okay.
little more.
A little oomph.
Okay. Okay. I have to go more oomph, you said?
More oomph.
Mm.
Oomph. More
Don't
oomph.
go for height. Just, oh my
What?
gosh. Unbelievable. The crowd
Wait,
goes nuts.
wait, what just happened?
You hear all the clicking
I'm
from the monks.
so shook.
I think
What?
I think
He
two monks
deserves
just broke
a
their
talent
silence.
award.
I just did a one-round strut right there.
Yeah, there's like
that ever
a
happened
round of
before?
applause.
But never me.
But
Not
never
yet.
you. Okay.
You can
well,
still,
I'm
you
not
can
gonna
still
be able
tie.
to do that, you guys.
Still tie.
All right, here we
Oh,
go.
goodness.
This is your last chance.
What in the world?
It's a strong
I was close.
second.
I was close. I'm not mad about it. Okay, let's see if you can do it again.
Okay.
That was a fluke.
Can I strut again?
No,
You see how he shot me?
you're not even going to get close this time.
Okay.
That's my case.
I knew it was going to happen.
Okay.
I thought it was going to happen to me.
That's
though.
going to come out of our paychecks.
Oh, that's not good. Did I break it? Okay.
No, I think it's safe.
That's in our budget. It's fine. Would you please welcome Lydia Tremaine, Miss Indiana, and we'll be back after this. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for challenging. Tony cheats for most of the time.
Wow. Was that did you cheat?
And now it's time for a Mastication Station infiltration selection. Hey,
Whoa, watch the wind, Tony.
Oh boy. Okay.
Woo, it's windy.
B, C,
Oh my. Whoa, that was better.
Okay.
and D.
Oh,
Please comment below with your selection.
hey, you know what? We started, and this is my first show again. So, welcome back to Mastication Station. It is a great night, and we're enjoying our sponsor, which is Lee's going to tell you about.
Our sponsor? Our sponsor is Fanny Fran's gently used pastries.
Yes, pastries.
Yeah, by the ounce, not by the dozen.
Yes.
Gently massaged, pleasantly licked, and gently stomped on for a reasonable price.
Yes.
At Fanny Fran's gently used pastries.
It is by the ounce and not by the dozen.
I think
so.
all of our guests
your
have one
convenience.
under their chairs.
You got what?
Yeah. A matter of fact, our audience members, as I reiterate, are the Franciscan and Benedictine monks who have been on a pilgrimage from New York to Los Angeles, walking, and they heard we had some royalty, and they're here, 975 of them. The only problem is that they're not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
So you guys,
They
it's
clap,
all
they
good.
stomp,
So yeah, so if
They
you
roll.
and then you can do this and starburst.
With us, a very special guest, is Dr. Rudy Kachmann. And he was, as you may know in town here in Fort Wayne, one of the most world-renowned neurosurgeons who has decided that holistic treatment is much more effective. So what changed your mind about that?
Well, you know, it's over 30 years ago. You know, I've been looking at all these patients every day, and I pick up a book called Molecules of Emotion by Candace Pert, P-E-R-T. And she was looking through a microscope, electron, at NIH in a men's society, and she saw that every cell in our body had receptors on them wiggling around looking for chemicals. And then she realized that our brain makes neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, and that these end up on the receptors in your body and send a message in there chemically. So it's mind-body. And then she discovered that your immunity does the same thing the other way, so it's body-mind. So when people come to see me, I wasn't just looking at the x-rays. Say, you are your x-ray. What I would always do is say to them, what's going on in your life? You know, unless they fell out from an airplane or something. And then I realized, you know, some had a divorce and somebody died, and, stress. So you are not just your CT or MRI. You got to know what's going on with the patient. That totally changed me. Totally changed me. I started writing books, and then I wrote one myself about the mind-body connection, and now I've written 15 books and got public access TV shows because I realize medicine is on the wrong path. It's on the wrong path. We're not teaching people how to eat, how to exercise, and I've been a changed person since. And then I retired from neurosurgery, became a full-time wellness doctor, done maybe 15 years of TV shows here. And I think the community is changing. They get it. They see me around town. They say, you know, I lost my diabetes. I'm eating right. I'm avoiding sugar, the booger, and the hooker. I'm moving more. I'm exercising more. I'm playing music. I'm taking singing lessons, and we're connecting.
So you would say you're fairly healthy enough to maybe, I don't know, tap dance?
No way.
You know, next Thursday will be my 44th anniversary of my 39th birthday.
Oh, okay.
So I always tell people, you gotta move, you gotta move. So I play tennis and pickleball, but you know, I thought I'd try something new since I love music so much. I know you guys do.
Yeah.
You're laughing all the time, and that's more healing than any operation I can do. So I took up tap dancing, and with that, while we play a little DJ music, and I'll show you a sample.
That's wonderful. Now, do
you know, you do 15 minutes of that. I use about 5 Bee Gees songs.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everybody's got a different tempo. So you pick your tempo, your song. You know, Saturday Night Fever and different songs. About I Was a Woman is another one. Guilty is another good song. But it's for me.
Yeah.
You may use different music.
Tony
but you can do it at home, you know, in your basement or
well, you know, when I did CPR training, they tell us to pump to staying alive.
Yeah.
Did
they really?
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me
Yeah.
that.
So it's staying alive.
Did they really?
Staying alive. So it must be just the right tempo for your heart or something like that.
You got it.
Are you
know
supposed
what I
to
mean?
say
Must
the
be like
mantra,
my
though?
cats, which sleep all night on the left side of my chest, and they, I think, identify with my heartbeat.
Well,
so you do
as long as you don't identify with theirs, is that a lot faster?
But it's relaxing. You
Yeah.
know? It's just like walking in nature is relaxing, which I do almost every day. I don't care if it rains or whatever, and I'm singing to the cardinals, and they're singing back, and the red-winged blackbirds, and nature is exploding right now. You know, it's really relaxing.
Yeah.
Really relaxing. So I teach wellness and health, and you know, I'm concerned about the community. Is that 1 out of 2 probably is pre-diabetic or diabetic, and that's got 50 diseases associated with it.
Wow.
Now I know, and I know the science, you can avoid 90% of that.
Now, how can you avoid that?
Yeah, great question. If you eat about 80% vegetables and fruit, and maybe organic meat 20%, you don't have to be I'm not saying to be vegetarian or vegan or anything like that. But if you eat meat 7 days a week, you have increased rates of cancer, for example. Sugar is the booger and the hooker.
There's the sisters again.
And fat isn't all bad. You know, people think fat is all bad. No, they're good fats. Guacamole and nuts and beans, and there are good fats. So to avoid all fats, I think that's incorrect. But sugar is the main thing. We're eating about on the average 200 pounds of sugar a year when we used to eat 5 pounds. And it's partly the fault of our leadership, of our government. They support the price of sugar, for example. The price of corn, $40 billion. Our government supports the price of corn, which the animals eat, and then we eat the animals. So when you're eating animals, what are you eating?
Corn.
Corn.
Sugar, corn.
Winner.
Yeah, sugar and corn. And very unhealthy. Now, government is doing that to us.
So
down.
would you say that if you're going to eat meat, the grass-fed as opposed to the others?
Yes, I think more grass-fed. You know what I mean? They have less chemicals in them. But I would keep that to a minimum. You know what I mean?
You said 20%?
Yeah, and I reviewed the blue zones. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., I'm going to Warsaw to speak to a senior group on how to live to be 100. So I reviewed all the different ways of people eating. You know, vegetables, exercise some. And the exercise isn't running races, it's a movement. I wrote a book called Sitting Disease, which is on Amazon. It just movement hits different muscles than running. And movement is what's critical, because if you don't move, that turns off our LPL enzyme, and that increases diabetes and affects sugar metabolism. Sitting 2 hours is like smoking a pack of cigarettes. Scientifically proven.
Why am I not smoking?
You know, this through NASA research. You know, and and you know, addiction. What's our main addiction in this community? It's not opioids. That's bad. No doubt about it. I wrote 3 books on pain, so I know about opioids. But sugar addiction is 10 times worse because it results in developing type 2 diabetes, and it's 50 diseases. When we see our hospitals with hearts on them, 90% of that could be avoided through proper government on down, public health. Public health is not teaching us. Schools, you know, teaching us very little. It needs a big-time emphasis on prevention. Could save us so much money. And that's my mission.
Lee has a question.
Is it true that the mini tramps, that when you bounce on a mini trampoline, all your cells are working?
All your cells are working. You're working on balance, for example. So as we get a day older, that's where tap dancing is great. I play pickleball, which I don't recommend to everybody, but again, it's a lot of up and down, it's gravity. But dancing can be safe, you know, and if you're a little bit unbalanced, and get a railing or something, and you can do it at home. It can be real cheap. And even that's not even a molly floor. We just took a piece of wood and it seemed to work pretty good.
We got that from our van.
That was cheap too.
And your bare feet, you don't have to buy tap dance. But so movement is important. Eating the right food, you know, a little sunshine, and socialization in your life, love of the family. Love is very important, and that's where pets come into. I mean, you know, I love my pets. One of my pets died. I think it really would affect me.
Sure.
So I have bird feeders outside, and animals feed out of there. And I'll tell you a funny story. The other morning, one of my bird feeders is a little low. It's still dark, and I'm looking over there. There is a deer, a pregnant deer, on her hind feet, her arms like this, taking her big tongue and cleaning out my bird feeder.
Wow.
I
been a video.
At my
your camera
phone
for that,
and take a picture of it. Yeah, that happened.
So would you recommend like a pet sloth?
Pet sloth. Yeah, I think that would be a good one.
They're nice people.
They're nice people. So love, socialization, to belonging to a community, church, whatever. Meeting people every day is a healer. So eating right, moving, speaking to the right people, and if you eat the right food, nutrient-dense food, foods for color, you don't have to count calories.
Right.
You know, I have a smoothie every morning. That's a good way to do it. You know, put kale at the bottom and then fruit on top of that, and some curcumin on top of that. I have one every day. And if I'm late for something, I'll drink it while I'm driving in the car.
Drinking and driving, all right?
Yeah.
Well, that kale, that kale's rough.
And a smoothie every day is a good way to get the nutrients in you.
Sure.
Because we need nutrients for good health. Then you don't get hungry.
Oh, yeah, because it fills you up.
It fills your nutrient need. We're eating processed food with no nutrients.
Right.
That's why we can't stop eating, and we're putting down, sugary products.
When Lipton blows the whistle, you gotta have a cup of tea. Listen to the Lipton whistle. Brisk, brisk, brisk. Lipton tea.
Lipton flow-through tea bags, like 2 bags of flavor in one.
Now, I wanted to ask you about something that's happening around town a lot. CBD oils.
Well, this is a great question. He's asking about CBD oil. So I studied that a little bit because I got a hold of the PowerPoint from the state toxicologist, Sheila Arnold. She had given it to lawyers because the people that check positive for marijuana, they want to know the law. So I got a hold of that. And let me tell you about CBD oil. What the problem is, number one is the product itself, and that came right out of North Manchester Pharmacy School, only 25% accurate what's in it. So there's other chemicals in it you don't know about, okay? The other thing is it turns off, if you're on other medications, warfarin or diabetic medication or blood pressure medication, it turns off 70% of the enzymes from the liver, the P450 cytochrome enzymes that's supposed to detoxify your other drugs.
Yeah.
It upgrades them or downgrades them. So it's dangerous. If you and there was at Species there was a trainer who didn't believe I was seeing because they sell it there. So she double checked it. An elderly lady who was on warfarin, a blood thinner. She said couldn't believe it. Her breathing time was way out of whack. If she'd taken a fall or was in an accident, she could have died.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is the CBD oil, because it turns off your liver enzymes for hours or days sometimes.
Wow.
Hours or days. Yeah, and even that Sheila Arnold sheet, it tells you like some of these medications, opioids, for example, it upgrades them tremendously. 5 times more strong or 20 times more strong. You can see how dangerous it is. And that the state passed the law, governor signed it. These people that sell it, they're not giving anybody a warning. It was not part of the state law. I think that's a major problem.
Yeah, it has a warning
and
on
we
it.
should hold our legislators and our governor responsible. They didn't warn nobody, so it's dangerous.
They're not reading the
to take
information.
it. And we need the people need to be warned that they're not on the medication. And some of the effect, I think, is placebo because they use it, and I don't care what it is, whatever symptom they got, it could be one of 100 things. I feel better. That's not possible. That's you believe it. Remember I talked about the receptors?
Your feelings and all that.
Remember
Yeah,
the receptors?
sure.
So long as they believe it, that's placebo effect.
Yeah.
It's just too many things. So to me, and I wanted, even our county, head of our county health, I wanted her to tell the county. And I had met with her 6 weeks ago on this committee. I still haven't had a word. She was going to announce it to the press and have me talk about the P450. The phone has not rung yet.
Oh.
And I think it's important to let the public know. And because then I wrote a book, it's on Amazon, CBD Oil, The Road to Marijuana. What I'm afraid of, we are on the road to marijuana.
Is that like a gateway or something?
Gateway. It's been in other states. All the other states, it started with these medical clinics and CBD oil. And as soon as marijuana is legalized, like in Colorado, the medical clinics closed down. Didn't need them no more. They're the gateway. These are gateways, and they're making huge amount of money. I spoke to some of them. I'm talking about some are making $10,000 a day.
Whoa.
Because it's expensive. It's expensive. So
You better keep an eye on your rearview mirror.
Told
Yeah,
you the
I think
story.
so.
Anybody needs to know more about it, look me up. at the Three Rivers Pharmacy where I see people for free. I'll tell you the whole story. Or you can go Facebook, Cashman, look at some of my YouTube shows.
Yeah.
I have a 1-hour show on CBD oil.
Okay.
And I have no financial interest in it. I'm just trying to pass out information. I appreciate that great question.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like you just said, you have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And you have a ton of subscribers, and you have how
Yeah.
many shows? You've been doing it for 15 years?
I've been doing this 15 years, an hour and a half of public access TV, 15 years, a week.
Wow.
Now it's on FM 95.7.
So you have a radio
noon Tuesday and 8 a.m. Wednesday. And all I can say is, I love you, public access. Yes, it gives me a purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm getting my message out there, and I'm smart. When I wake up, it's like they say, part of Live to Be 100. Key. Did you have a reason to get up? I have a reason to get up.
A reason to, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've always heard people that retire or whatever, if they stop doing things, they're gonna, die earlier, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And they
gotta
do.
be active
and they
have
do.
a purpose.
6 months to a year, a lot of them are gone. You need something to do.
Yeah.
And if you're helping other people, it's even better.
Yeah.
You're helping other people, public access.
Well, I don't know if I'm helping anybody.
Yes,
I know
you
that-
are.
I
You
know
made us
that
laugh.
he is.
You may get people laugh.
You're a monument.
That's big.
You're a statue in our community, Tony.
Thank you. Hey, speaking of having a purpose, are you okay with a little challenge?
Well, we'll try it.
We'll try.
Don't laugh too loud.
No, they'll laugh at me, probably.
Remember, you said laughter is the best medicine. So.
Well, see, if you have people laughing with you, it's helpful to them, right? Not at you.
Not at
right?
you.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is you can pick a Sharpie out of that, be careful of sharp, and get a plate, and I'm going to get a plate. Do you have a scene? 'Cause we're springing this on you.
You served us some big steaks or something?
Well, but only 20%, and they're grass-fed, so.
I'll come up with a scene.
Okay, so we're going to draw on our plates a scene that he's going to describe, but the problem is the plate is going to be up here while we're drawing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So you've danced, and you've tap danced, and now you're going to draw something on the plate. So we're going to see what Lee comes up with. So let's listen to his scene, and we'll draw. Or if you want to have it here without seeing it, that's fine too.
It's harder if you do
what do you
it
want
that
to
way.
do?
Yeah, but
That might be harder. right?
I have too much hair.
Okay. you want to color it dark?
It's not
or-
for sale.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen, the scene starts with a barn in the middle of a field.
I'm going to draw a barn.
Okay.
Kind of.
Near the barn is a tractor.
Tractor.
Behind the tractor is a manure spreader. You guys are both from Midwest. You should know what that is.
Yes. Yeah, but
And following the manure spreader are 3 little pigs.
okay, I ran out of room on that side, I think.
And
And that's it. huh?
end scene.
Okay. They got the heads and the kids. Okay. So,
Now you got to show the audience. Now, monks, we know you can't talk.
Yeah.
So by a show of,
yeah, show of clicks.
we'll see which is the winner.
Am I first or is he first?
You go first.
Me first. Okay, so camera. Okay.
Oh boy.
Here goes. I'm going to zoom in on this.
Now you
This
get it.
is an awesome.
Show
Okay.
each part.
That looks more like an outhouse, but okay. On a wheelchair next to it.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be a tractor. And here's our pigs.
Where's the manure spreader?
Back here, that big square. Right
Where's
there's
the barn?
That's the barn right there.
We don't have a manure
It's
spreader.
that's the manure spreader right there.
I thought that was a barn.
The guy on first! Who? The first base!
That's the barn.
Good God.
Okay.
All right, Dr.
All right.
Cashman, yours has got to be better.
Okay. So just hold it up, and some camera will get
I think
it.
I know who that is.
That one right there, the one with the red light. There we go. That's it.
Okay, tractor,
Here's
barn.
the barn. Here's the barn.
Good barn.
Yeah.
Tractor,
The tractor.
like a
And
square.
then manure
spreader.
is over here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
3 pigs.
and the three little pigs over
Are the
here.
invisible pigs.
So,
Well,
I think I know who the winner is.
I think the winner clearly is the good doctor.
I think
over here.
clearly.
He is
Tony, you
clearly
missed the
winner
whole concept.
because I had an outhouse instead of.
Can I disagree?
You can disagree all you want, but I think the audience, clearly they went with you.
I mean, they were all dancing when you were dancing. That's a bonus.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank Dr. Kachmann for being here, and we'll be right back after this.
Thank you very much. Privilege of being here. Come back anytime.
All right, we'll come back.